Welcome to another edition of Byron, why'd you have to turn on your sound? I didn't even get through the goddamn intro, and all we hear is fucking noise. Are you going to do the intro?
Oh, welcome to Masks, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, the Outlaw LA Red. I'm joined today.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. Let me try.
Okay.
Welcome to another edition of Mask, Mats, and Mayhem. I am your host, the Outlaw LA Red. You can find me on Twitter at JustinHarvey75. You can find the whole show at MMMshow75.
That's pretty good. That was decent.
Yeah, I don't want people finding us on social media and bothering us. That's the problem.
Well, I guess that is, I mean, if you don't want to be found, that would get you found. Byron, where the hell are you? Everybody else has like important stuff going on, and you're somewhere having fun.
Oh, his mouth's full. Never mind. Moving along. Monsterpalooza was great.
How was Monsterpalooza, Casey?
Fucking amazing. I got to meet Doyle from the Misfits, fucking WCW star, Doyle Wolfgang von Frankenstein.
And where'd Casey go?
Oh, shit. I muted him.
I'm at the Brooklyn Comedy Festival, and I'm eating.
You're at the Brooklyn Comedy Club eating ass? What?
I'm eating penis at the comedy club. Like usual.
Okay, anyway, yeah, so I met...
well, there's an important question we should ask, though.
What's
Has
up with
it
Byron's
made
hair?
you any funnier, Byron? This is important for all of our sakes.
His face is funnier.
Speak up, Byron, we can't hear you.
No, he sounds like he normally sounds right now.
He's got too much dick in his mouth.
All right, look, let me talk about the important stuff. It's been an exciting week in Lucha Underground. We almost didn't do a show this week because we're all very busy people, but now...
Actually, I almost didn't do a show because I'm fucking pissed. What the fuck?
What? Why would you be pissed? What would you possibly have to be angry about?
Because my champion got fucked, apparently. I don't know. I didn't watch the show because I knew it would make me angry. And so instead, I was at work doing shitty IT crap. So there you go.
Okay.
Oh, I got scared and I thought Byron was going to get his dick out or something.
No, let's hope that never.
Oh, I thought that was his dick. It's his
Did anyone
face.
see that ankle?
Oh, look, he's wearing the Rabbit Tribe shirt. What a fucking mark. It's okay.
Kevin Cross is going to kill him.
It's okay, Byron. We're gonna, hey, kill the man that brought you to us.
All right.
Hi, Byron.
I don't have a soundtrack playing where I'm at right now.
Oh, we'll think of one for you. We can sing one.
Oh, you can see it in the background. That's the building.
Is this your house?
Wow, that looks like
So you live now.
a total strip club, you pervert.
Yeah, it looks worse on the inside too.
Yeah,
They're-
that's what she said.
They're recording podcasts here, which is ironic because of sort of part of what we're doing.
Part of what we're doing?
I mean, some people would consider this a podcast, and what we're doing,
It's
recording
an
one.
intervention, I think, at this point.
Adventure? Did you call this an adventure, me?
Intervention.
An intervention for you.
Why?
Byron, we've got something to tell you.
Mhm.
I don't know if you know this or not, but we've only been your friend all of this time because you buy us all T-shirts, you pay for the podcast, you bring money to every event we go to, you buy beers. But now that you're in New York, and like we don't really see you anymore, and the T-shirts have kind of stopped coming, and the beers are slowing down.
Yeah.
We've really decided that Meatloaf and Jim are gonna permanently replace you as the co-host of the show, and like really maybe you can just fuck off now.
Well, I'm literally standing in Greenpoint right now, so me buying you T-shirts will probably never happen again. Can I have money?
The money mark days really are over. Like all joking aside, it really is done, isn't it?
I don't know. We'll see what my next job is if I ever get one.
No, and also we were joking about Jim and Meef being promoted. You will always be our co-high. Thank you, young boys. Watch my back.
Damn right.
Well, if one of them wants to start running the Instagram, that would help because I haven't been.
Dude, you were doing a great job with that, though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know that any of the rest of us could live up to those standards.
No, especially because Byron was doing like research and getting like actual information on how to do it good. None of us bother with that shit.
Yeah, like our Twitter account is all I can muster sometimes, and I still make Byron do that half the time.
Hey Byron,
No,
I just kicked
hold on.
evil.
I gotta do something real quick.
All right,
do
well,
something real quick.
Mute yourself.
Okay, I just did it. So no, but I just got the keys to my new home right now. So within the next week, I'll be all moved in, and then I'll be able to step up and sorry, me, you won't be able to take my spot.
Well, that's great that you're not homeless anymore. What have you been doing for food the last couple of weeks? I mean, just wondering. None of us have any idea what you might have been doing for food and shelter or to obtain it, but you could tell us if you want. Hey, Jim, how was PWG?
Yeah.
So I only went to nights 1 and 2, but both nights were insane. I heard nights 1 and 3, but night 2 was insane. I wasn't there, which is unfortunate, but yeah, all the matches were ridiculously good. I think it goes without saying that Bandito is the breakout star of 2018. And hats off
you
to
said
Jeff
Bandito, not Chris Candido.
That is correct.
Did you know that Justin used to watch Chris Candido at ECW when he was younger and would drive 3 hours each way to go see the shows? It's weird that he brings it up every week.
Congrats to Jeff Cobb for winning the 2018 Battle of Los Angeles.
Boy, Cobbs.
And then very quickly saying in an interview that he's done with Lucha Underground after this season. So that's great. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Whoops.
Spoilers.
I half expected him to ask for his release from PWG.
It sounds smart actually. It's funny because okay, who's got the crying baby in the background?
Not me.
The city of New York.
What's weird is that he talked about in his interview how, as a child, he loved WWE, and that's what got him into it. But he's making too much money on the indies and living his own life. Like in his own words, he works 3 days a week and he lives a comfortable life. So,
but I gotta say, man, I honestly at this point, I don't exactly understand why anyone would leave Lucha Underground because it only takes a month of your life to film and then you just have TV time. Like if it's keeping you from another opportunity, I get it. Like, but if you can't give up 1 month to get some TV exposure that lasts like 4 months, like unless you've got, and it's also not keeping you off of TNA or AAA or CMLL or like half of the other promotions in the world, unless you're at Ring of Honor or New Japan or WWE or someplace that won't let you be at Lucha Underground, I almost don't see why you would leave.
I honestly think it has to do with the fact that maybe, especially after this past season, that it's only a month of your time, but that month kept changing of when it was actually going to happen.
Right.
No,
like originally season 4 was supposed to take place in October of 2016.
Yeah.
And then it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And I think that messes up you're trying to plan around your bookings. And if you're trying to save 1 whole month for this, you're kind of missing out on multiple bookings.
I think though, sorry, Justin, but real quick, I think there's a certain caliber of indie talent where that's just the name of the game, and you book them at your own risk. And in that caliber is the guys who get booked at PWG. PWG pulls people off cards all the time. They get a little bit of shit for it, but it's also like you understand, and it's the name of the game. And
they'll also do their best to replace them with somebody of equal caliber. Typically.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll bring in someone really cool in very short notice, and it's kind of awesome when it happens. So now people don't just be like, oh, fuck that. They'll be like, oh, who's the awesome replacement too?
No, PWG will book someone. They book relatively last minute. You could book out your dates with MLW or any number of organizations that have their shit together up to like 6 months to a year in advance. But then PWG wants you in Bola you're going to do Bola and cancel your other dates. You know?
Right, but imagine if you have as many dates as Jeff Cobb,
Yeah.
and
exactly.
you're like, okay, well, Lucha's gonna be filming in October. All right, well, that's a month of bookings I'm not gonna take, and then all of a sudden, they end up shooting in February, and you have a month full of bookings. It's not gonna look good. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, everyone, I have to shoot Lucha Underground. I'm gonna cancel 4 weeks worth of bookings, which is like 18 shows.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the long layover was really shitty and ruined a lot of trust in the company that you're trying to work for from the employee point of view. I'm hoping that they're a lot more consistent and
Right, but you
have
say
more heads up
company,
now.
but Lucha Underground is not a company; it's a production. So,
And
Well,
and that's
it's
the thing. I
employer.
mean, there's the LLC, which is a company, and then there's El Rey, which is a network, and then there's MGM, which is a production company, and then there's Lucha Underground, which is the product of those three entities as a TV show.
Yeah, no, but I mean strictly in the sense that you're using it as
Right.
as your employer, and you trust your employer to pay you for the day's work that they say they want you to work, and
Hey,
that really
Casey,
fell through.
this just in.
What's
Your
up?
Lucha Underground champion, Marty the Moth Martinez, is at a show right now, but may try to jump on here in a little bit. So hopefully we can get Marty to come in and just so we can congratulate him, if nothing else.
Is
I
he?
think Casey has a
Is
special congratulations for him.
no? I'm actually. You know what? I fuck around, but I'm happy for the guy. All of my hatred is for Krista Joseph.
Oh, great! Now you
who still follows
now.
Casey on Twitter?
Casey, you gotta give DJ a break, man. He's just doing the best he can, and I think he's doing phenomenal. You know,
Byron, he's not going to follow you.
considering
That sounded like a blowjob, Byron. That sounded like a blowjob.
he's doing the best job he can.
I don't know why
You
we're
gotta
shitting
give
on
him credit
DJ.
for
I
that.
think Marty the Moth Martinez is, in fact, one of his most creative names.
Yeah.
He made him the champ to prove to you that he does come up with names beyond Big Bad Steve and
Oh god.
And I hope
Jake Strong.
I hope Marty the Moth thanks his lucky stars that his name wasn't Crazy Martin at this point.
Well, he was going to be a magician, right?
Mad Marty.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the whole Marty win is phenomenal, and I think, you know, we got to see how it goes, because we just got a glimpse of Marty after a break, but he's homegrown Lucha Underground talent.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. And I think that's part of it. I mean, he paid his dues, and we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Hopefully we get him on for a few minutes. But speaking of Marty's, and speaking of people who are no longer going to be with Lucha Underground, Jeff Cobb was not the only person that announced that he probably isn't going to be returning to Lucha Underground. Marty Elias apparently has asked for his release from Lucha Underground and been granted it as well.
Oh, wait. Friend of the show, Marty Elias?
Yes, friend of the show, Marty Elias. So,
shit. Okay.
Apparently there's no bad terms there, anything bad going on. He just he's asked for his release. I think he's got some other stuff going on, and you know, the company line over there is that Marty is welcome to come back whenever he wants, but if he would like his release, that it has been granted to him. So congrats on being released if that's what you were hoping for, Marty, and good luck in all your future endeavors. I'm interested to know what those future endeavors may be, because there are definitely some rumors out there that have been swirling since he said that. You know, we've seen on WWE TV that Shawn Michaels is very much back in the mix, and there's been a lot of speculation that Marty might have something going on there. We also know that he works on Glow, and he has some connections over there, so I don't know if he's got some TV stuff going on.
Ooh, and Justin, refresh our memory. What famous Shawn Michaels match that we're all thinking of right now did Marty referee?
Chris Jericho.
The Inward Taker one? Was that it?
No, it's just the Undertaker.
Oh, the real guy.
And he did the Jericho match.
Yes, he did.
He did.
I love that Jericho match.
I mean, it would.
Was this the Undertaker before he was half dead?
He's already dead. He's the Undertaker, you fuck.
I thought he was
How
undead.
do you ride a motorcycle when you're dead? I mean,
Casey,
biker
Very
jacket?
carefully. Very carefully.
Casey, if the Undertaker's already dead, why does he look so old?
Because dead people rot, you racist. Jesus Christ.
He's never aged a day in his life.
It's interesting you bring racism and Mark Calloway in the same sentence.
Was that in the same sentence? Were those two things really in the same sentence, me?
He likes guns, that's all I'm saying.
Meef is very anti the even slight hint of racism, by the way. He's very, very liberal and advanced for one of those Brexiters over there. Wait, hold on a second. Creepy John Waters mustache. What is that thing on your face? What did you fall in?
He is matching his Fire Pro character that Byron made.
Good Lord. Holy Guy Fawkes, what is going on here?
Do they use the word cum catcher in England? I guess that's
they do
words. Yeah,
that's
baby.
Amazing. Well, congratulations on puberty, Meatloaf. It looks good on you. We're so
Yeah.
happy you finally made it.
Yeah,
next Friday.
Just remember, Meef, it's not a mustache, it's a flavor saver, baby.
Should we ask the chat room for helpful hints and tips?
I'm pretty sure there's
Meef
no one else in the chat room.
As he's about to, or maybe people should just
I've had too many tips, that's why it's like
people
this.
should tweet at MMMshow75 because I'm pretty sure if Neef is going through puberty now, that there's not going to be anyone to give him, the speech.
Hey, Byron, what's the menopause like?
So it would be great if our friends on Twitter could help give Neef the speech about the birds and the bees or whatever else he should be concerned with. Like,
are we the only people in the chat? Are we the only ones talking to ourselves?
I'm pretty sure no one is in the chat.
Well, we absolutely didn't advertise that we were going on today. We're a day late.
I told one person. Mark Mania know we're on.
And
I told 440 people, and by that I mean my Twitter followers.
And I also moved the session from yesterday
Jim.
when it said we were supposed to be.
Invite more followers than Jim.
Wait. Do I have double the Twitter followers than Jim? What the fuck is wrong with you people?
I have 3 times the amount of followers than Jim. What's going on here?
Oh, someone's fancy.
Yeah, but there's certain qualifications to be one of Jim's followers. You have to be a lady person. B, you have to be pretty nice and outgoing and friendly. C, you have to be hot. And then Jim will approve upon further review your request to be his friend.
Well, you know what? I am 2 of those 3 things, and he still will not accept my application. And I've tucked my wiener between my legs every time I talk to him.
Oh, God. Buffalo. Stop it, Buffalo.
Would you fuck me, Jim? I'd fuck me hard.
All right, so I want to talk
back to the news. Back to the news.
Oh yeah, well, back to the news. The last thing I was talking about was the Jeff Cobb Marty thing. I think they're completely different scenarios. I'm gonna guess on why they are both exiting, and who knows? By the end of the season, we may see more exits. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what happened with Carly. With Katrina.
She's dead.
Well, I know, but did she want out? What was the reason? I have no idea. Carly's not a person that I talk to regularly, so I don't know. And I know that there was talent that was surprised by that had no clue that there was any kind of exit for Carly because they didn't see her doing the vignettes.
That was
the rock in her hand.
It's weird with her character, though. I mean, does it necessarily mean that she's gone? I don't know. But
last time she
had the rock.
The rock was falling next to her. I don't think it was actually in her hand, was it?
No, she gave it back. No, it was in her hand.
No, because he gives it back to her at the end, right?
Yeah.
So when she falls, he's in her hand.
Guys,
she might be back.
I don't want to make a non-timely type of comment, but she spent so much of her time and effort to get this ability to be human immortal again, right? That was her main goal. She had a good thing going.
Well, but now she's proved that she's human. I mean, it's the ultimate way
but Byron, didn't I say that being human is bullshit and to stick being a fucking immortal vampire ghost? Didn't I say that on the show multiple fucking times?
Yeah.
Coming from the guy who's just at Monsterpalooza all weekend.
Exactly.
Pet Cemetery, Casey. Pet Cemetery. I need the impression.
Sometimes that is better. Oh God, that was a bad one. Sometimes I can't do it right now. What's wrong with me?
Wow.
Oh, God.
What we have here is failure
Byron.
to imitate.
Oh,
Sometimes
That-
dead
no,
is fucking better. Price check on a corpse.
Oh God. There we go.
But guys, she spent so much time and effort to get her humanity, and then the first thing she does with it is dies.
Well,
Does that seem like a smart investment
it's
of her
proof
time?
of concept. It's proof of concept.
Well, she had to have let Mill fuck her at least once, right? Like, otherwise that's just mean.
Pasquale?
Yeah.
I don't know. With a name like Pasquale, she might have passed.
Yeah. Does she call him Quali?
Quali.
Quasimodo.
Or Gilbert?
Anyway, so this episode of Lucha Underground, it had some things. There were some things. Some things happened to some things, and some people happened to some people and things.
It was really good.
I don't know that. I mean, like, if you read the spoilers, this was definitely one of the most spoilery episodes because a lot happened actually in the temple that that information did get out. So a lot of people knew that this was coming. A lot didn't, but it was still surprising nonetheless.
Someone leaked this episode's results maybe within 5 minutes of the show ending.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing, though, like, if you're the kind of person that's going to leak results, you are going to walk out of there like, oh, my God, I got the inside goods on some things. Because nobody in the room was expecting it. We literally had Marty the Moth on this show the day before this happened.
We did.
I talked to him off the air for quite a while. No clue that this was going to go down. None of us had an idea
he kayfabed you. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think he even knew.
He might not have known yet.
He might not have known.
He knew. Because, I mean, if he didn't know it was specifically going to happen, he knew that it was, he had to have known that it was in the plans because he specifically was altering his character. He was trying to, with DJ, change the path from that comic character. He's like, the comedians aren't world champions.
And he said that on the show.
Mm-hmm.
That day, we had no clue. He told us basically the whole path to what he was doing. Go back and watch that episode. I'll post a link to it, guys. But if you go back and watch that episode, like mere minutes before he's going to the temple to go and do this whole thing, he's talking to us about, like, the fact that he wanted to change his character. He didn't want to be comic relief. He didn't want to do what Joey Ryan was doing or some of those other people. He wanted to take a more serious twist on it. He also wanted to do more serious matches with some of the Lucha Libre guys and bump hard and do some strong style stuff with some of those characters. So, hey, goal achieved, wish fulfilled.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the unforgotten part of this because we're still gonna get to that. We're gonna get to more Marty stuff, but please do not sleep on new zombie Phoenix Dark or whatever the hell he is. That match with Aerostar was fucking greatness. Everything that Phoenix is doing with this character is perfect to me. Like, you guys think Penta was good at being a Rudo. I think this version of Phoenix is the best version of Phoenix you're going to ever get, period.
And it's the only place you're going to get it, so like it while you have it.
Well, this Phoenix, sorry, thanks for muting me, Jim. There was a gentleman driving in a car with the loud stereo a little bit earlier, and this was a baby in like a Hot Wheels thing. Also with the loud stereo.
Jack.
I just want to point out to our listeners that Byron doesn't know the difference between a Hot Wheels and a Power Wheels, and I'm very embarrassed right now.
Power Wheels, whatever. Anyway, no, I just want to say real quick that when we were talking about how I think Phoenix is the best wrestler, luchador in the world right now. I mean, personally, I think he's better than Pentagon. This is the presentation of him that I think is better. So I agree with you. Like, this is the best that we're going to get of him. This is the best we're going to get.
Coming off of the taping. So, like I said, tapings ended in April, and he was doing the he came out when he came out in the Venom gear. He switched from being nice little Phoenix. He went backstage and then came out giving the whole walk like he did on Lucha Underground. Went into that role for the weekend.
Interesting.
Well, I hope that he knows that role is a good fit for him. I hope that he knows that, this zombie Death Phoenix thing is straight fire.
Well, he probably has a
shit too. He's got to love it because He doesn't have to sell as much. He doesn't have to bump as hard. Everyone will tell you being a heel is way better than being a fucking babyface. And he gets to knock people's fucking heads off, and they have to like it and appreciate it because he's putting them over.
How awesome is that spin kick?
Oh dear Lord! You mean the spin kick where he doesn't do anything but send it in hard? It's full legit spinning heel kick.
Yeah, it's awesome. You just straight up just Jean-Claude Van Damme's a dude in the face.
Well, but see, and here's the reason why this week's match is great, because he can do that with guys like Phoenix or with Aerostar and guys like Dragon Azteca, and he could do that with Daga if he wanted to. You can't do that shit with everybody. You know, there's going to be some wrong guys to do that to. He's going to spinning heel kick, you know, Kevin Cross one day, and then Cross is going to legit inside leg kick him and put him out of his misery. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain people that he's going to not want to do that with. But
speaking of
other
which,
guys,
Byron's going to get killed tonight.
Oh yeah.
Where are you going, Byron?
There's a hit out on him.
No,
There's a hit on
me.
Byron.
Me is tweeting at Mr. Cross about murdering me again.
You're wearing the shirt. That's an invitation for Kevin Cross to kill you at this point.
Cash has been put down. I have wired the money. It's on.
Well, and he still has a briefcase he can cash in at any time.
And he knows about New York.
Yeah, he might get your briefcase of cash mixed up and end up trying to fight Phoenix for the Mega Championship.
Campion.
Basura. See, you know my favorite.
Basura.
Oh God, I love Jeff Jarrett.
Basura.
Amazing.
No me.
My forearm smashed Jeff Jarrett. By the way, I haven't been on since then. Jeff Jarrett was walking behind me, and I turned around and just forearmed him and sent him flying.
Where was that at? Was that at that show?
Yeah, it was a English wrestling media con. It had like Dave fucking Meltzer, the prick, and that he's such a boring bastard. And he kept just telling everybody how really hard he works for everybody. I was like, yeah, Dave, if you have to tell fuck all. And yeah, Jeff Jarrett was there. Pat Patterson was there. People were looking to get. That was quite interesting one night. But yeah, I just forearm smashed.
Did you yell "Oi, you cunt" when you did it? Because that would be amazing.
No, I apologize because I didn't realize who it was.
So if it was just like some little girl or something, you would have just kept walking. Is that what you're telling us?
No, I would apologize to the little girl. But when I realized, I didn't realize it was Jeff Jarrett. But I then got a marker picture with him, so you know.
And then he says, "Don't piss me off."
Yeah. Well, I had to because I had my Phantasma shirt on, and I wanted to see what he said about Phantasma. So.
Your shirt is Basura. Basura.
He probably just no-sold it all together. Would be my guess.
No. He was like, "Oh my god!" Like he was gutted. He said he didn't know it was going down.
He's like, "Put your mask back on, you ugly bastard."
Casey's
not talking to Byron.
I didn't know the Cavernario was Phantasma this whole time. Holy shit, man!
He's Mexican Jon Snow.
It's Mexican Jon Snow. That's amazing.
I don't watch shows for nerds. Sorry.
You're not a fan of face melting dragons, anyway. So
I just don't have HBO, and I'm jealous. I'm sorry.
I'm going to keep raving about this Phoenix character until it gets fucked up. So I don't know. Hopefully he's returning in season 5 to Lucha Underground whenever the fuck that happens.
Give it a week.
But
okay, yeah. Thank you for saying it before I did, Meath, because I was gonna say it. God damn it.
If you like it, he'll kill it.
Hey guys, why don't you all? I can't do it, but why don't you all tweet to DJ right now and be like, hey,
why don't you do it yourself? Why can't you do it?
Dark Phoenix should be.
Whoa! No, you do not call it fucking trademark. Do not call him Dark Jim. He wants to call it Dark Phoenix.
God damn it, Byron, you should know better.
Jesus fucking read a fucking comic book, Byron, you piece of shit.
Nightwing.
To be fair, the Phoenix Saga is one of the most hated things in the world.
I mean, granted, it's spelled differently, but still.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
What a Zombie Phoenix?
Yeah, you got to spell it correct.
There you go. That works.
Zombie Phoenix should be champ. Is what everyone should tweet DJ. Also, you should tweet DJ and tell him his headphones suck.
Well, we once
The
said
Phoenix
that
ZOM.
And
we once said that Marty the Moth deserved to run at the top. I don't know if we said specifically champ, but we definitely said run at the top, and that one came true. But knowing our track record on this show, he's probably just going to get killed off now. So we'll see how his run at the top.
he's
goes.
already dead.
Well-
He's a fucking zombie.
No, I'm talking about
Black
Marty. the
Widows
Moth.
eat moths.
Oh, Marty, shit.
how-
Black Widows eat moths. That's what I'm saying.
All right, well,
Are
so
we-
let's move along then. So, Dragon Azteca Jr., or sometimes referred to as El Dragon Azteca Jr.
Friend zoned. That's Azteca Jr.
Oh,
He came running at the smell of Melissa Santos again. Caught
If I save you, you'll love me, and we'll have sex and have babies.
I will give you rug burn with my chin beard, Melissa.
Don't.
Would you like a cherry bakewell tart?
The girl is nice, yo. Look, the girl is nice, yo, but stop getting it twisted, y'all.
I brought you flowers from the sun.
Oh, you know
Bring you
what?
nothing
I'm
but
alive.
bad news.
Would you rather have sex with a living man, Melissa?
The girl is trouble. Stay away from her.
I've got a real penis with real blood.
My penis doesn't have worms coming out of it, Melissa.
Terrible things have happened on this show, but it's okay. I'm okay with it.
Do you
I don't
think
know.
Well, guys, it was fun being with you on the last episode of MMMshow.
So
it's nice that we're all gonna be banned from the temple.
Oh, the chat is saying this is so funny.
No, they're not. You're the only one who's looking
he's
at
the one
chat,
in
so
the
you can
chat.
say whatever
So
you
of course
want.
they're saying that. No,
That's literally the last thing that was said in the chat. That's all I'm saying.
that's true.
Uh,
That's actually true. Anyway, so what I was saying was Dadge catches a beatdown, which he totally deserved. And then what's his face? The Papa guy, the dude with the bull cane comes out and says something that sounds a little like either you can fight or I'm just gonna take your belt.
Hold on, Justin. You see, you may have came here to fuck the girl who fucked the dead man, but you are here to fight in my temple that loves the violence and also loves the sex with the dead people. And it is her right to fuck her dead boyfriend because My Boyfriend's Back is my favorite movie. I have it on Blu-ray. I have it on Laserdisc. And every time I watch it, I get a colonic from beautiful, beautiful women. Do you know what a colonic is, Justin?
Yes.
It's when you get the sheet sucked out of your ass. Ring the bell.
And then Marty the
That
Moth
was reach round.
gets his match that he paid for, his Gift of the Guidals title match. I was very surprised that Antonio accepted last week the same amount that Mariposa had paid for her Gift of the Gods match. I thought that there would be a little bit of inflation right off the bat. Like, never.
Well,
took
you
the
know
same-
something, Justin. They were very smart in the Moth family because they gave me the exact price of one deluxe colonic from beautiful, beautiful women.
Okay. There's nothing I can do with that. There's nothing I can do with it. So, after a deluxe colonic from beautiful, beautiful women, Antonio makes the match. Marty goes in there, and it's not entirely a squash. Marty does not just win outright and easily. He does have actually a very, very good match with Dadge.
So you're saying you liked my match, Justin?
Yes, I think you book very, very good matches, Antonio.
I make the best matches when I have no shit in my ass.
Right. Well, because you make the best matches when you don't have to strike matches.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
They have been doing a really good job this season of building up Dragon Azteca Jr. with this run, and I do appreciate how they gave him the out with the Phoenix beatdown and the competitive match, even though they're taking the belt off of him.
It's like they made him look great match-wise, but they made him look like a complete punk bitch fucking personality-wise. Is the issue I have with it.
Yeah.
And so what do you do with him now is the real question. I mean, I love what they
How about
created,
this?
but where do you go?
At the end of the day, he was trying to stick up and help out his friend and his friend's relationship.
Fuck someone else's girlfriend.
Or that too. But
Yeah.
Aerostar brought
He's
back
preying
a
on a
zombie.
weak woman. He's preying.
But Aerostar brought back a zombie that's now destroying everyone in the temple. who's, you know, who do we judge more?
Do you know who? Do you know who preys on someone?
Exactly
A predator.
of Justice League. So I think it's fair to say that it was unintentional.
If you look at who the god of time travel in Mexican culture, it might give you a hint as to what Aerostar might be up to.
He's
that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
He's
I'm not going to butcher the name.
He's dressing up as a beautiful, beautiful woman to give colonics.
What's Brenda?
First of all, I don't know if you officially consider Oscar De La Hoya a Mexican. He's of Mexican descent.
Hey, wait. I got that, but why didn't everyone else get that?
Sometimes you just put it out there and see what happens, Casey. Sometimes you just let it go and see where it goes.
Stay tuned to the MMMshow Twitter account where you will see what this reference is.
Oh my God!
We'll send you some pictures, Byron, that you are not going to want to see.
I know exactly what it is.
Just search De La Hoya, Cueto, high heels, colonic, and see what you come up with.
I wonder if it's the top pictures for De La Hoya anyway at this point.
Yeah. When I got to talk about him later too, because I feel like I don't know. I feel like the fix was in on that Triple G Canelo fight.
I want to say hello to Brian Cervantes in the chat. I think you may be the only person not currently on the show in the chat room, Brian. Hello, sir.
What up, B? So where was I going here? Oh, so then did we get the cross promo after that? Yeah, so Marty Elias is your new Gift of the Gods champion. Well deserved to
Marty the Moth.
Marty the Moth. I'm sorry. You know, Marty's are Marty's. Martin Casaus.
But no, I don't even try pronouncing that shoot name. I still don't know. I think it's sea sauce. I don't know. Cassius Clay.
Casillas. I've heard Casillas.
It's Casillas.
I've heard
Casillas.
You have to like poke a
Couscous
to say the name correctly.
Marty Couscous.
So it was.
Anyway, was this when cross promo came in?
Yeah, what I really didn't like about it was that it was so short. I wish it was about the whole show and every show for the past 4 weeks.
Wait, you thought the cross promo was too short? I was sitting there watching it going, oh my God, Cross should not even wrestle anymore. He should just go be an actor. He's got more lines in this one segment than anyone has had in the whole run of the show.
No, but I think Byron's point is that he wanted to see him do this for a whole hour, which, fuck yeah.
I'll take it. Yep.
Yeah. I wish there was more Rabbit Tribe vignettes. I can't wait to see in-ring stuff, but this...
Well, does this mean we're actually going to get him in-ring now, finally? I mean, the season's almost freaking over.
Well, if we could trust London to be able to get him back and not get lost on the way back.
I mean, London's no Jack Evans. London actually has and answers a cell phone.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Hopefully next week, maybe.
I don't know if it's going to be next week or 2 weeks or what, but it looks like the teleportation has happened and he's coming up the rabbit hole. He's tired of living underground. And
you know, I just drove by a place. I think it's a bar that's in Chatsworth called the Rabbit Hole, and the sign's upside down. And you guys know what I'm talking about?
No.
Nope.
It's on like Roscoe.
A place called the Rabbit Hole, but it's totally different.
No, he goes to the manhole, bro. Completely different.
Oh yeah, that's a different rabbit hole altogether.
And the Blue Oyster Club.
Do you think
he gets a few thumpers through the hole? So.
Yeah.
See, Jim got my Police Academy reference. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
Wait, I got to go down my notes. So Jeff Cobb, Marty Elias, Martin Casaus.
So it was really great, but I also really loved
cross promo. We're talking about the cross promo still, right?
Yes.
Promo. How about the character that he's playing? Because he's doing Killer Cross.
Wait, stop! What is this character that you speak of?
Why do you think it's a character?
No, I'm not even talking about breaking kayfabe here. I'm talking about the fact that Kevin Cross is legitimately a psychopath that probably lives underground.
But yeah, and holds a big staff and asks people to murder each other with it. But
have you seen the kind of videos he puts together?
Yeah,
just like the kind of stuff that he likes people to see him doing is unacceptable to small children and most women.
I was getting into it though, because his presentation everywhere else is more along the lines of the Killer Cross character, where he will yell at you and flex every muscle in his face until you think his head is going to explode. Then he picks you up and drops you on your head, and he's just a big violent outburst. And this is such a restrained version of that, and it's even his speech patterns, the way he talks and pauses is
Dude,
different.
that would, you know what?
And
If he made a shirt that said "I'm just a big violent outburst," and then on the back it said "Killer Cross," I would buy the shit out of that shirt.
Yeah,
but I think the main reason for that is honestly he had a lot of input in this. Like when he's trying to make money and paychecks out on the indies, he's got to portray a certain thing that's easy to book for the night. Even in Impact, they're kind of going with that version, and I think that is, it's not low hanging fruit, because I think he's still doing a very high level version of that. But at the same time, I think that, we've talked to the guy. He's been on the show before. You see how he does his normal thing is more of a slow burn in reality, where he's friendly, he's jovial, he's almost comical at times. And then when he turns on you, it's not an outburst. It's a like, oh, fuck, he just went to a dark ass fucking place. I don't want to be anywhere near this guy now.
So pro tip, don't piss Kevin Cross off. Don't piss Killer Cross off. I'm sorry, don't be pissed for me saying Kevin.
Don't even know what's going to do it. He'll be cracking a joke with you about, something in Natural Born Killers, and then all of a sudden he'll look at you like, no, I really do want to kill you. And you're like, what the fuck? I don't know what I did.
See, you haven't found the unifying power of Sid. Just talk Sid with him, and you'll not get killed.
I immediately I go to like Japanese wrestling or like pancration or something violent, something violent that has nothing to do with violence on me.
I'm having some issues. I'm having some issues with pancrase. Maybe you can help me with, Justin.
Maybe.
It seems like a lot of people, talk about how some of the fights were works, but it seems like everyone just says the matches I lost were works and the ones I won were shoots.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's part of the appeal.
Yeah. Because I was just watching Minoru Suzuki tap out Ken Shamrock. It was pretty fun.
Well, but that was part of how they got big talent in there, was the fact that no tough guy had to really give up his tough guy status to do it.
Until they were in a big fight, and then they had to.
But nobody knew if the fights were works or shoots. So it didn't matter. No matter what, at the end of the match, you could still have your bragging rights to say you were the baddest dude around because, I had to put that guy over. That one was a work. Or you could be like, yeah, I'm shooting the baddest motherfucker alive because dudes were face slapping each other.
See, this is why we need to create our own promotion and have that kind of hey man, if I'm wearing a monster mask, it doesn't fucking matter if I lose, that kind of thing.
I don't know if we could go that far. All right, so anyway, the cross promo, I keep saying the cross promo. That's a whole
cross promo.
The cross promo was awesome, and again, I feel like maybe they shot all of Kevin's promos in a day, but they're all awesome. Like, I hope they spent like 8 hours just making a ton of these. I hope there's a metric fuck ton more of these, but I don't know that there is because they kind of teleported out of that place.
And so plus, we only have like 5 or 6 episodes left now.
Yeah, I think down to 6, maybe. It depends on how much they broke up Ultima Lucha this year, because I felt like Ultima Lucha this year was really just the last day. I don't feel like the day before is going to be used as any type of Ultima Lucha event.
No, I remember going thinking that it was going to be like, it's going to be like 3 tapings, and then we're like, oh no, it's only the one day.
Yeah, it's only really just the one day. So I feel like that's probably a double episode only this time instead of.
Although it did feel like 3 days when we were there.
It was freaking long because your every blow off match for the whole season happens at Ultima Lucha. I'm not going to give you any more than that, but yes, every feud that is going in Lucha Underground gets dealt with by the end of the season. Some of those feuds may linger on and keep going, or may have new twists and turns and not just be completely blown off, but everyone gets a match involving their feud, that some of which are picking up now and some of which are long established. Anyway, Penta, Cuerno, Mill, short, A lot of people were a little disappointed by that. I remember live thinking that it was okay. It wasn't.
Hey, it's only my 3 favorite people in a match together, but hey, let's make it 2 minutes long.
But
It's
I
okay.
believe they had almost all wrestled earlier that same day.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did with the way that these tapings were set up. Jeez.
Yeah, this was like they had all wrestled at 5 or 6 p.m. and then they were wrestling again at like 9 p.m.
I thought, yeah, I also thought it was real short, but I thought it was really cool how Penta's or Pentagon Dark's mask got ripped and Luchador's faces, but just the way that it was ripped, you could see his eyes and the facial expressions with the partial makeup on. I thought that was really cool. I thought that really helped with the selling, which is hard to do a bus show when you're wearing a mask.
Had to grab a fucking Steve Weiser. Actually, it's not a Steve Weiser. It's a Shasta Tiki Punch.
Hey guys, I gotta sign off. My earbuds just turned off.
Well, you sound better when it turned off, but
yeah,
you can't hear us anymore, can you? Yeah.
Hey, Byron, if you're a fucking asshole, don't say anything.
No, I'm not.
Awesome. Too late.
Well, your microphone on your phone compared to your earbuds actually sounds a lot better, believe it or not.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't think my earbuds were meant for that purpose.
You know, I think if I was a mugger, I would mug the shit out of Byron right now because he's not aware of his surroundings. I'm just saying.
Yeah, openly telling everybody how much he's got laying on him.
They're like, no, this dude looks like he doesn't have a place to live right now.
I'm just gonna walk around. I don't think this is the weirdest thing happening in this neighborhood right now.
That building behind you looks fucking dope, dude.
No, it looks like a cross between a mausoleum and a bar mitzvah factory.
Sounds like a party.
What?
All the rooms inside.
A bar mitzvah factory.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people though. I don't know. There's a show I want to go to at 8.
You go to a lot of shows.
There's a lot of stuff that happens this time of the year. Also, I don't have a home to go to, so it's like I gotta find a place to sit down with air conditioning. Anyway, it was a good match. It was short, but yeah, Marty's the champ.
Well, we didn't even get to that part yet, but
yeah, spoilers, dick. Fuck.
Jesus.
What part were we at? The part right before that?
Yeah, the 3-way before he cashed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts on the match? I mean, it wasn't a ton of a match. There was nothing bad that happened in it, and there were some great spots, but
yeah.
Could have got pinned. That wasn't good.
You know, if there was 3 guys, I'd want them to make a whole episode out of them having a 3-way match. It would be those 3 guys. So,
but I think that was kind of the swerve, was to say that that's what they were doing and then not be what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you put it where you put it on the cards. You think it's going to be a long match. That does make sense.
I mean, and the weird thing about it is the fact that, you know, again, they have this hour-long show, so the element of surprise is a little bit blown, whereas like if it was a pay-per-view or WWE event, the element of surprise at the end wouldn't have been weird, but everyone's looking at the clock going, it's, you know, 8:51. Why did the match just end? Like, clearly something is about to happen.
Yeah, but then you still get an element of surprise for the middle match then that you won't have for the end. So there's some surprise. Yeah.
But I feel like there was a system.
I'll be honest with you, lads. As soon as I watched last week's episode, I knew that he was going to win it and cash it in this week.
Wait,
I had no element of surprise.
Meef, did you just try to wipe off your mustache? I mean, I know it looks like dirt, but I think that's actually hair.
He drew it on with a pencil.
I don't think that's going to rub off like that. I feel like, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just excited that we got John Waters to do our show.
I think it is so creepy weird how much like John Waters he really does look.
Well, one thing that Lucha does have going for it is that they can close on a vignette. And sometimes it's like 30 seconds after closing it. Sometimes it's like that full-on Rabbit Tribe scene.
Right. Well, I thought that this was cool too. here with Penta and Marty. So obviously, we get the announcement from what's his face, Papa Cueto, that the extra money that Marty the Moth gave him last week is going to buy him a rule change, or has made him reconsider one of Dario's rules, which was that you have to give a week's notice.
That's what happens when you throw in the money for the reach around on the colonic, Justin.
Yes. So what happens?
Thanks, Casey, for that.
What happens is you are allowed to change the rules, but this rule was never established in Antonio's temple. There was never any point in time where that rule was hard and fast, I don't think, with Antonio. And he's
actually there was, but they already threw it out once because he let Pentagon do the title right away too. So
it's just violence, I think, rules above all other rules. So if he feels like he wants someone to get beat up, he'll he can break canon or whatever.
Well, I mean, I think that this was a time he felt that maybe a new champion could be elevated, or that it was easy money and Pinto would just beat him up and he would just get paid. I mean, Antonio, I think, doesn't really care. He had a match, there was violence, and he got money.
Yeah, he's a businessman.
Smart. He's a good promoter. And then it raises the stakes for the next time.
Although technically a good promoter would promote the fight and get paid for the fight.
Now, here's where I have to apologize. I have to personally apologize to Chelsea Green, a.k.a. whatever the fuck that person was that crawled out from under the ring.
Black Widow.
Her spider Black Widow gimmick.
Trademark.
Whatever.
Trademark.
Yeah, I think we figured it out already.
What was the name that we saw on the list? It's Reclusa or something?
Yeah, it was Piston Paw Jack. That is going to be her new name.
No, now on the list, on the scale of name rating for Krista Joseph and Chris Roach, where does the name Reclusa reside for Chelsea Green? Is that high? Is that a crappy name? Is it where in relation to the name Big Bad Steve or Jake Strong does Reclusa fit?
Well, it actually was the second name they chose.
What was the first one?
Black Widow's been copyrighted.
Yeah, they were just gonna say Black Widow, and then they're like, "Oh shit! Oh yeah, that's an Avengers. Yeah. Sorry." And then they're like, "How about we call her Spider Woman?" Oh no, sorry. Oh, third choice. Can we call her Aranya? No, we can't. Do we have to keep letting people that work for Marvel come to our shows and someone that might notice? So now Jim is banned from the temple.
Could they have called her?
I would never notice that.
What if they called her Chelsea Spider?
They could have called her Chelsea Spider. That would have been worse.
They could have made her a moth.
I think she has a great name, and I think that it really shows how good Chris Roach is at coming up with names that are
because DJ really did want to call her Bite Girl. So which is
I thought horrible. Lady Spider was going to be
was the 8-legged thing.
Why does DJ get the blame for everything? Why can't Roach get blamed for this good name?
Arachno Girl.
Why can't Roach get blamed for this good name? Of course, this was a Chris Roach name.
Her name was originally going to be She Arachnaman, and they decided not to go that route.
I thought that with all the implications with the Sexy Star angle and the spider scaring her and whatnot last year, that her name would just be Sexy Spider.
No, but you know what? It's apparent that she fucking killed Sexy Star. So there we go. Because where is she at? Dead.
Oh, we certainly haven't seen her, and we know outside of the ring that she's not exactly in the most favorable standings these days.
I hope.
So I'm going to assume that they've...
Hashtag Casey was right.
Or she could be hanging out with Rey Mysterio's character right now.
Yeah, but
he wore a Spider-Man costume once.
You know what I think is going to happen with Rey Mysterio, by the way? I know Eric Van Wagenen said on the show last time he was on that he kind of wants to go back to the old temple. I think they're just going to go back to the old temple for one of these seasons and then mysteriously just find Rey Mysterio still locked in the basement like nobody ever dealt with it.
No, I think it's just going to be his skeleton, and they'll use it in skits. You remember You Can't Do That on television when they go into that dungeon and there was always that skeleton there? Hodgkins the skeleton? Yeah. He had a name. I'm pretty good at trivia, but the Hodgkins the skeleton of Lucha Underground is going to have a Rey Mysterio mask.
Well, I think if he doesn't,
even better, they're going to go down there, and it's going to be the Crypt Keeper.
Yes. Yes.
Keeper. Right here.
Do you know who this is?
I think
This is Keep the Creeper.
Oh God.
Justin.
Help me.
You see, Nakamaki, you're like a Timex watch. You keep getting a beating and you keep on ticking, but you're not gonna tick no more. Because I have the Hollywood Nightmare. Keep the Creeper.
Oh God.
Oh, there's people around. That's
And
great.
Case wonders why he hasn't been given a chance to run the book at Lucha Underground.
And he will be the Japanese wrestler of the Wings Promotions, Hollywood Nightmare.
Oh my God.
We just by having the Crypt Keeper in it, all right?
Oh, so anyway, I never even told my Chelsea Spider story. What's her character's name? That's Chelsea. It's Chelsea
what's
Spider,
your
right?
story?
So
Reclusa.
I have to apologize to Chelsea Spider because I was sitting right there at the edge of the bleachers in the front row, and she comes out from underneath the ring, and all I am seeing is her backside. Which, you know, if you know Chelsea Green, is not necessarily a bad thing. But I thought it was Lotus at first. And that is, I apologize sincerely, Chelsea. I apologize. I don't know how I could have possibly made this mistake. Anybody who follows Chelsea knows from the 700 times that she was in her pool today on Instagram that she clearly does not have a backside that compares at all to Lotus's, and I should have known better.
Well, also,
I made a sincere and honest mistake, and I apologize.
Yeah, but how about when you made that same? What about when you made that same mistake about Dragon Azteca, Justin?
And Pimpinella.
Oh no, it wasn't a mistake when I said that about Pimpinella. Not at all.
Yeah. Oh God damn it! Where's Pimpy, man?
Where is
Pimpy's dead? Pimpy died with Rey Mysterio.
Anyway,
no, I mean, like even in AAA, dude. Like,
I liked Chelsea's. I like Chelsea's debut, by the way. She had come out at Lucha Underground Dark, I think the weekend before, and done the hot mess thing, and we were all really surprised that she just wrestled Dark and they didn't debut or anything. We thought it was weird. And nobody had heard anything about what she was actually doing. A lot of the other talent on the roster didn't know what she was going to actually do.
You know, Justin,
dark match. So
this is where you and I differ because, like, you don't like the hot mess gimmick that much, and I think it's fucking hilarious.
No, I like the hot mess gimmick some, but I've seen it now. The last time I saw the hot mess gimmick live, it was amazing, and I think her in-ring work is really, really up there. Like work rate, moveset is very far above a lot of women in wrestling right now. She was not always like that. She was not always like
Becky
that.
Lynch.
No, she's
definitely no Becky Lynch. Thank God.
Oi, what are you saying about me, Meatloaf? I got the women's championship now.
That was my
I really got a terrible Irish accent.
I got myself a title in a bunch of disguises.
It's just that fall away fucking suplex she does. And by the way,
it's so
Ryan,
sloppy.
it's a fall away suplex, not a fucking German suplex. You moron.
I would also like to say a missile drop kick is not when you fall on your back with your legs bent and do a really crappy back drop kick. That is a regular drop kick. A missile drop kick is when you are turned to the side and your feet are fucking pointed and you push off the person with the points of your toes. That is a missile fucking drop kick.
Actually, Justin, you're wrong. The missile drop kick is the one where you land on your back.
No.
Yes.
It's always been the other way.
Byron?
You've heard it called wrong for 10 years of Michael fucking Cole on WWE.
No. I watch Japanese wrestling, Justin.
I would defer to Casey on this.
Yeah, I just assumed that a missile dropkick is any dropkick, which regardless of style from the top.
Because that's the way it gets called.
No, that's a terrible assumption to make, Jim.
Just remember,
we're gonna have to start a new wrestling move game challenge.
Striker will clear this up for us. Matt Striker.
Striker calls moves wrong constantly. What the fuck?
Please tell us what the move is called.
Yeah,
and then tell us what you're gonna call the fucking Penadriver this week, Matt. How about that?
He came up with the Black Phoenix driver or something this week for Phoenix's finisher, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Oh no, it's it was a fire. He used to do a fire driver.
The Black Fire driver or something. Now.
And the Japanese name's the Fire Thunder, which I think sounds like a fucking awesome name. I just love the name of that movie.
So now
Fire Thunder.
Yeah.
All right, so.
But hey guys, I gotta get going.
Have fun getting the shit sucked out of your ass.
Episode. It was a good review.
What'd you think about Hell in the Cell, Byron?
I don't know.
Was it shit? Doesn't know anymore.
Did you like how Did you like the cage looking like a McDonald's Playland?
Oh my god, I hate that. Was the worst. That was like the only thing I could even bring myself to think about.
You paint it with gloss paint so it's shiny and it just blurs on screen. It's red, which means it just bleeds.
And live too. There's tons of people who were there live that complained about not being able to see what was going on.
Why did
always use matte paint?
I think it looked okay from the inside, you know?
Right, and there's 3 people inside. Great.
I know. I mean, I think like there was no reason to change it.
Oh, Byron, before you leave, say hi to Zeus King, Rebecca Locke, that are also in the chat with Brian right now.
Oh, hi guys. Hi, Zeus King and Rebecca Locke.
They hate
Brian in the chat room.
Oh man. Oh, I won't repeat what Zeus King just said about you, Byron. It's not good to call people that in 2018. So.
Well, have fun being able to teach for however long it takes for the paperwork to get through, and they figure out you're not allowed to be around children.
It's okay. I was gonna ask you how that baby got past your 10-mile radius there.
I don't know what baby you're talking about. Oh, sorry, I got to call the other line. Bye.
The police.
Oh God!
I heard they wrote that Book of Mormon song, Joseph Smith, about Byron. It was originally Byron Turk. Don't fuck the baby.
So the ending of Lucha Underground, Chelsea Spider, whatever the hell we're calling her, Reclusa, which we think is her name, but that was not confirmed in this particular episode.
It's because one of the original names they copyrighted or whatever was Black Widow. And on the Wikipedia, I mean, it's Wikipedia, so, she is actually down as being Black Widow.
It's funny because her name is clearly Piston Paw Jack. We've been waiting for that name to make a debut, and you guys are all wrong.
It will be Black Widow, though. I don't know. We just assumed it was Reclusa based on that list of other names that they trademarked recently. It could still easily not be. I have not had that confirmed by anyone.
Well, I hope they enjoy Disney lawyers if it's Black Widow.
Though clearly it is something about a spider, because Chelsea has been using the little spider emoji since the day before that happened at Lucha Underground. So
man, there was a wrestler with a spider gimmick that I used to love. He used to wrestle in Mexico. Okay, so it was like a TJ group. I believe it was called
Veneno?
No. But it was similar. So it was either WWO or WWA, I forget which one, but they had a guy and his name was Black Spider, and his costume looked like the old 90s Spider-Man armor with like the silver and black, and he used to shoot silly string before the match, but during the match he would do a spot where like the heels would be surrounding him. And he'd do the Spider-Man hand signs, and they'd sell it like they were afraid to get webbed, and they'd like bail out of the ring and do a powder. It's fucking hilarious, and he did it every time. And I love that guy, Black Spider in Mexico.
I can't wait now that we have this Chelsea Marty combo. First of all, I hope this doesn't turn into anything tawdry or inappropriate with Marty and his sister and Reclusa. I don't know.
Well, then we hope Roach wrote it.
Spiders eat moths.
Yeah,
Spiders eat moths.
Maybe. So I don't. Oh God. Oh, spiders.
If there's a new woman in Marty's sex life, she's gonna be upset. Maybe.
And Chelsea's got a man. So
why are you gagging, Justin? Were you thinking of like a salad tossing situation? Are you okay?
It's gross. It's gross.
Are you thinking about a pair of siblings?
I'm thinking about anything with Chelsea and Marty hooking up or being like a couple in this thing. Like, I hope they're just allies.
Woo woo.
We'll see. But I'm very happy that Marty is the champ. I'm also very not happy that Pentagon is not the champ. I don't know where else you would have gone.
That's the thing.
But you know, before I get into my Marty story that I promised to tell this week about what happened with me and Mr. Martin right after this match, what are you guys' feelings on, first of all, Marty being the champ? And then second of all, because I feel like these are two separate things, and I don't want to connect them because my happiness for one has nothing to do with my distaste for what happened to the other one. But how do you guys feel about Marty as champion? And how do you feel about Penta as not champion?
Okay, who do you want to start, Justin?
I don't think you should start. I think Jim should start if Jim is still around.
You know what? I don't mind Marty as champion. I like the character, and I think that aside from the psychotic gimmick, this was something that was due. Maybe not so much a championship, but something high up. But hey, a championship's just as good. And honestly, I feel like if you're a top star, which we all know Pentagon is, his story is more about the chase than having the belt and this, you know, for almost an entire season. So, you know, if it takes him losing the belt to get back in that chase and you get that, you know, the crowd behind him wanting to get that belt back, I think that's just as good as having him be the champion for more than half the season.
Okay. Meef, what do you think?
Jim pretty much said exactly what I was going to say.
Well,
I'm happy for Marty because basically he was the guy when he first came in. I was like, and then like the amount of work he did on the character, and it is him, and obviously the guy's writing, but he put so much work and effort into creating that character, making it so good, and nailing the opportunity that I got with that character. That he is, like you said, a homegrown talent in that sense. Like he's just gone run with it, and he was one of my breakout stars of last season. Mm-hmm. So he deserves something this season. It's sad that Pentagon loses the belt, but I agree with Jim that Penta is more about the chase, and the fans are behind him. You need a heel champion.
Well, and this is champion. Well, so let me jump in before Casey jumps in too, because here was my issue with the Pentagon thing. What I wanted out of this Pentagon run was a heel turn for Pentagon, but he was never completely established as a face. And I think this was part of the problem that DJ and Roach were probably having is you couldn't have him do a real heel championship anymore because the crowd was so behind him that he was
going to turn him heel though, Justin. Is he going to fuck a baby in the middle of the ring?
I know, and I guess that's what I'm saying is the problem. But what you would do with a champion like this normally is to keep it exciting, to keep it interesting. And if you're going to keep the belt on him because it makes sense to keep the belt on him, you know, a face doesn't stay at the top for very long most times these days, you know, and you have to kind of turn him heel. Otherwise, he's just squashing out everybody else, and then no one else can get any heat in the company. We've already seen that. What happened with him and Cage? What happened with him and Cage this season sucked. I felt like it hurt a great character and a great talent that has always performed well for Lucha Underground, but that the heat that Cage was getting in that feud was not deserved. It was not good heat, and I don't think it helped him at all. And that was the problem with Penta as champion is how do you put anyone other than Mil Muertes against him? And it has to be someone else if he's going to hold the belt for a long time. And it can't be a squash every week, as much as I think there should have been just a ton of squashes in there too. It can't be that every week in a promotion like Lucha Underground where they've gone out of their way to make every character count. I mean, there's only so many famous V's and Vinny Massaros that he can beat up and have it be okay. So that's where I agree with the fact that something did have to give. I just wish that there could have been a way to find for it to not be the belt. That at the same time, I love Marty the Moth being the champion because he is that heel champion. He can do those things. He's exactly what they couldn't turn Pentagon's character into. So I love him being the replacement at this point in time, if it was going to be at this point in time. I also, however, don't think it should have been at this point in time. Go ahead.
I think there was obviously the whole Bestia thing. So obviously that didn't get to go ahead. So I think that might have been where the whole him losing title was. Bestia was going to come in as the, well, I can't say the name, Casey will be able to say it, come in and kill Pentagon, but like
honestly, I would have fucked it up too. I'm not even gonna try.
All right, Casey. So you've said it before. Any episode of Lucha Underground where Pentagon loses is definitely not getting your top star rating.
No, I didn't even watch the episode, so it's okay. No, you know, it's cool. I like Marty. I'm glad that he's winning a title. It would have been nicer if it was, you know, at like an Ultima Lucha situation instead of this late in the season, and now they got to go somewhere else before the end. And then also Pentagon losing the belt. I felt like he won the title a season too late anyway, so this title reign didn't mean as much to me as everyone thinks it does.
So what is the what's the verdict for you, Casey? Are you done with Lucha Underground? Are you still, I don't know if I could call you a fan of Lucha Underground anymore. I think you might be an interested party in Lucha Underground, but where do you fit in the spectrum of Lucha Underground now?
Right now it's like well-wisher because I'm really far behind and I don't see when I'm going to have a lot of time to catch up. You know, my schedule sucks, and my schedule really sucks on Wednesdays, which is a big part of it. So, you know, I don't get a lot of chance to actually watch the show. Honestly, when people used to pirata the show a little bit, it was a little easier for me to watch it, and they got cracked down on. So now it's harder for me to watch, and I actually have to make time, and I can't watch it while I'm at work. Okay, that works. That works.
Right. The links to completely paid and approved for versions of the show.
Honestly, I just need to
with the production of the show watches this.
I just need to buy it on Amazon Prime, really. I just need to buy it on Amazon Prime because I can watch that at work and it'll work. So that's what I need to do to catch up. And then I can catch up by Ultima Lucha and participate in the second show like I'm supposed to. But it's not like out of anger or hatred or spite or anything that I'm not watching the show. It's just that my schedule fucking sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
I do have some good news for you, though.
What's the good news?
Remotely. If you can watch European Blu-ray and DVDs where you are. Because they are working on the second and third series coming out of Germany.
Nice.
So I've already got the first series. I was at that MediaCon. The LU guys from Germany were there. They were really nice people. But Mike is the guy who I believe is the commentator, one of the commentators for the German version, and he was saying they're talking about taking the subtitles off the German, so like they're not even having the German subtitles popping up on the screen because you can turn it into English, but the German subtitles are still on the.
Oh, they hard coded them in there.
Yeah. So like it's not that bad to be honest with you, but like he was saying that they're making sure it's sorted so that basically you can watch it with just an original English commentary and not have the.
You know what he said? You know what he said to me?
What?
He said, "Hey man, here's Alex Wright, the German. If you want to know what the Germans are all about, pick me, and we'll have a hell of a victory. I promise."
Oh God!
Also, the best thing as well is I not only picked up my Letterman jacket for about $110, $125 it'd be now. The UK Lucha Underground guy who's trying to get the TV rights sorted out, but he's selling all Tribe merch. So if you want a t-shirt, just ask me to send it to you. He has got the Letterman jacket on there for £75, which is about $90 maybe.
Right, which is about 203% less than Byron paid for his.
Yeah,
that jacket's at least $50 to $60. It is not anywhere near what everyone paid for him.
No.
I honestly don't remember because I wasn't ever going to buy it anyway. But I swear to God, the very first day, it was cheaper. I swear it was, and then it got marked up the next day. But I also feel like it was originally made for crew members, and they were giving it and that was the crew member price. And then when they put it out front, because they had so many of them, they were like, "Oh, it's a cool item. I guess we can sell the rest of these off that people didn't buy."
Because they killed all the members of the crew, so like Big Rick wasn't going to buy one, or Bale,
or television crew. But anyway, or talent, whatever, people involved in the show. All right. Hell in a
We
Cell
would
was
never
weird.
use Big Rick and talent in the same sentence.
The only other thing I want to say about Hell in a Cell is it was very unfortunate that they did such a good job promoting that it was this 20 years of hell anniversary of the Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley and Undertaker. And then after Hell in a Cell, they had this fabulous Mick Foley special all about the Hell in a Cell thing. And it was kind of like, you know, Have a Nice Day, except just the Hell in a Cell edition.
Nice.
And it was really, really well done. It was awesome. It was like almost like a cross between watching Kevin Smith and Henry Rollins do spoken word. And that special was so phenomenal. And on top of that, you know, that Hell in a Cell match was phenomenal. Why would you surround this pure and utter shite with such greatness or reminders of greatness? It made no sense to me.
It's like, hey, let's acknowledge the legacy we're pissing on.
Yeah. The best bit was when the final match, when he's like, oh, obviously Braun Strowman's not going to climb the cage, but it's like, oh, these 4 guys are going to randomly climb the cage and they'll do a little thing, and then, oh, they fell off through a table from 10 feet.
Yeah,
wow.
like from footholds. From really, really big footholds.
Actually, to be fair, I don't think there were footholds where they were standing at that point, but regardless,
they got there. No, because they were holding on at the top with hands and footholds.
Yeah.
It was just
but like, he was searching for it. You could see where he went to scale down originally. He couldn't find the foothold. It was hilarious.
It was like such a consolation prize. It was like, okay, guys, go to the top of the cage, and if there's a spot up there that you're feeling, do it. But whatever you do, even if you don't feel comfortable with it, make sure you break a table. So then they go all the way up there, and I think they both got up there, and they're like, I don't know about you, but I think I want to jump off the side of this thing. What do you think? Yeah, fuck that. We already got paid, bro. Let's just climb halfway down this thing and like pop a table. Okay, great.
Didn't they just both randomly fall? I didn't see they like hit each other.
I don't know. It was such a shitty spot. Who even?
I think they punch each other, or like they threw their heads into the cage and then they fell off.
The best bit as well was that Roman and Strowman were both down for like 20 minutes.
Yep.
After a really weak table spot in the corner, and it was like, wow, they're dead now.
Brock busted up the cage was probably the best spot in that whole match. Yeah. Sadly, it was just like, and you saw it coming from a million miles away, but it was probably still the best spot.
And then it sucks because it's one we've seen 3 times.
Swinging the door around, which was
Foley's 3 count as well. Yeah. That was the best thing.
I will say that after that show, I am glad we are currently in the golden age of independent wrestling, as it were.
Yeah,
and I was at night 3 of Bolo to miss that. So yeah, I think I had a good alternative.
And look, I mean, WWE SummerSlam was a really good pay-per-view for one night only. They should have called that pay-per-view one night only. For one night only, I was like, oh shit, I could watch WWE. This is a good product. This is exactly what wrestling's supposed to be. I'm fine with everything that happened here tonight. All the performances were good. All the bookings made sense, whether you liked your favorite guy getting over or not, but it all made perfect sense. It had great flow, great timing. It was a top to bottom of a stellar card. And then Hell in a Cell was just absolute, utter crap.
Garbage.
I liked the Rousey bit. I liked how much she actually did the storytelling of the injury.
Right, I get it.
I liked that in her match. I mean, it was what it was as a match, but it was a case of I liked the fact that she was showing that part of her development, if you know what I mean.
Compared to her moment though at SummerSlam, this was also like another. Okay, so where are we going with Ronda? So it didn't hurt at all because you're actually asking.
Hey guys, I gotta head out.
All right, brother. Jim, before you head out, there's one thing I want to ask you about.
Yep.
Tyron Woodley broke his hand and is out of his fight with Colby Covington for now until next year. So no one gets to beat the brakes off your boy. The race war has been averted.
Donald Trump's going to beat his mouth slow, isn't he? With his cock. So,
hey, I just want to say eventually I hope karma's a bitch. So anyway, I will, if anyone in the LA area will be at Bumps and Bruises tomorrow, I will see you there along with Lucha Underground, alumni, I guess it were, Lil Cholo, El Mariachi, and Marty Elias. So and Brian Cage and El Dragon Azteca or Ray Horse.
Jim, can you do me a favor?
What's that?
If you see Mariachi Loco, ask him about that bloody mask. I messaged him.
I will. I'll do what I can. If he has a table, I will ask him about it.
Yeah. Cheers,
man, you're a mask mark, aren't you?
Well, I asked him about it because like someone sort of put me on the spot about it. So.
Well, fair enough. I will do what I can. But hey, you guys, have a good rest of the show. And to everyone in the chat room, hi and bye.
Later, Jim.
Peace. Deuces.
Have fun.
Oh, thanks, Lucha Blog, for retweeting our episode thing.
I love that guy.
Hey,
I love that guy too. We need Rob Mike on it.
Not necessarily a ton of news. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of news out there between Jeff Cobb and Marty Elias.
Man, Jeff Cobb, dude. Jeff Cobb. I just wish he got more time in New Japan. Maybe this will lead to that, you know?
I don't know.
I'd rather see him than fucking Michael Elgin. Come on.
But look, the PWG thing is a great roadmap marker. I don't know how long the writing on the wall with this Lucha Underground thing has been there, but I can't say that I'm surprised. We heard a while back that he had a few grumbles and kind of wanted to move on, but then a lot of other people did too. I mean, Sami Callihan, we heard, had some of those grumbles, and he's totally fine with Lucha Underground as far as I know. Mm-hmm. And I think whatever issues he may have had at one point have been completely resolved, because he's like, oh shit, yeah, I'll come do a month of work there. He likes doing little stints in places. When he goes to an indie, he likes to do 3 or 4 of their shows in a row and have a good storyline. And it's the same thing for him at Lucha Underground. So I think he's probably ecstatic about the current setup there. Maybe Cobb is not, or maybe, as we've seen with other characters, maybe it was just time to move on from that character or something. Who knows? We haven't seen the end of the season. So there's no telling what his reasoning for leaving there is. There's no real reason. There's no way to tell what anybody's reason for doing anything is in the wrestling world. Oh my God, it's so complicated. And
so really, if you're a betting man, you should be putting money on Matanza dying by the end of the season.
I do my homework too. I make the phone calls. I ask people. I get answers too about what people are saying, but I never know what answers to believe. There's so many things that I could say, but I'm just not in the business of reporting hearsay, or even, if I'm being fucking worked, I'm not going to report being worked like some other podcasters that we all know and hate, or so-called wrestling journalists that are out there.
Dave Meltzer.
I didn't say Meltzer. I said nothing about Meltzer.
Dick.
But and honestly, he gets real information from a lot of sources. He's not even the one I'm personally referring to. But there's a lot of them out there that would take rumors that are going around, and especially with the Lucha Underground rumors, I guarantee you, if it's out there, I've heard it. And I guarantee you, if I feel like it's inappropriate or unsubstantiated, I'm not reporting it. Mm-hmm. I'm not even talking about it. I'm going to leave it alone. Don't think that I haven't heard it, though. I get a lot of DMs and people ask me questions about this, that, and the other thing. I'll tell you what I think is important. I'll tell you what I think is appropriate that doesn't ruin my own personal enjoyment of the product. And I feel like putting certain information out there that is either spoiler related or too inside baseball, or if it's anyone's personal issues, I'm not going to put it out there because I don't care enough. I just don't. So you can ask me all you want. You can DM me about it all you want. I'm going to say what I want to say that I feel is comfortable. And it's not any shilling for the product. I could give a shit about that. I'm certainly a person that has criticized the product as much, if not more than a lot, but I just don't give a fuck about ruining my own enjoyment of the product. If that makes any sense.
The thing is you don't learn from getting a blowjob. You learn from being told this is bad. You did this shit. And because if you don't tell people they're doing something bad, do you know what they do? They continue to do bad things, and that's when things die.
Right. And some rumors we've reported in the past when certain people are unhappy. We've made our suggestions, and we damn well knew that they were completely true before we said anything about it on the show. So just know that we do our homework, and if it ever comes to going to court, I can cite all my sources, and we'll be fine. But anyway, the UFC, since we kind of went there, so Tyron Woodley is out. That's really a shame. I was looking forward to the Colby Covington thing. but I don't know if you guys watched it or not. Oh my God, this Khabib Conor.
Do you want to buy my fucking whiskey, Justin? No, it sucked because they started so late. I was home and I had to leave right when it fucking started to go to school.
Oh, that's a shame.
Because they started an hour late.
That's a proper 12. That's a I love, there's certain things that I love. Obviously, Conor and Dana worked out ahead of time that Conor was allowed to bring his 2 belts. In the past, Dana has not let people do that when there's been disputes. In the past, he's not even let Conor do stuff like that.
Yet they still announced Khabib as the undisputed champion.
Yeah, but did you notice how they announced Conor? They announced Conor as a 2-weight division champion.
Interesting.
They did not announce him as the current anything, but they said that Conor McGregor was a 2-weight division UFC champion. Didn't say former, didn't say current, didn't say undisputed, didn't say unified, didn't say anything other than he was a 2-weight division UFC champion. They called Khabib, however, the undisputed lightweight champion of the UFC. And I hate that terminology.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when there's another fucking belt on the table.
And not one.
2. Yeah.
I mean, one's for a different weight division, but literally a guy who was never beaten for the belt, even though he took a bunch of time off and was technically stripped. But, I mean, it's sitting right there. And Conor made a great point, which is that Khabib beat the number 12 last-minute replacement Contender who had just been up-jumped in the rankings to make it make sense that he got the fight at all or whatever the fuck ranking Iaquinta was.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And Conor even said it was like, fuck all. You beat a real estate agent. And that was no truer thing was said. And it's not to say that Khabib isn't a badass. It's not to say that there's not 10 other guys out there that he could have beaten for the belt. But it is to say that I don't feel like Khabib ever earned that belt. He never fought the man. He never beat the man to be the man. He beat a man. He beat a guy who showed up and they put him across the ring, and it took him 5 rounds. And again, I'm not saying that doesn't make Khabib probably one of the best lightweights ever. I'm not even saying that it doesn't make him 10 times better than Conor. I'm just saying that Conor has a very good point in the fact that I don't think there's anything undisputed about Khabib Nurmagomedov as the lightweight champion.
And I don't think Conor would have taken 5 rounds in that shit.
Yeah, I think it's a very highly disputed. And in my eyes, I don't necessarily see Conor as the champion, but I feel like Khabib is more an interim champion than anyone who's ever held the interim belt in their lives. I completely 100% look at Khabib as an interim champion, a guy who was filling a spot while everyone else had their shit in jeopardy or wasn't able to participate. Where Conor was working out his business stuff and boxing, Tony Ferguson was injured. None of the other guys had worked their way up to the number 1 contender spot. I feel like, if anything, they should announce Khabib as the de facto lightweight champion of the UFC.
See, that would be fucked up, but hilarious. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
Listen, guys, who else are we going to get?
Right. I mean, it's like what just happened with the women's flyweight division or whatever that division is. The 25. Yeah, flyweight. I mean, it's like Nico Montana was the champ, but we've determined that she is no longer the champ, but we didn't just like slap it on someone else. We didn't have, her opponent just fight some random scrub and declare them the champion overnight. That's how Khabib got his belt. So whatever. Even if he had won it against Holloway, I would have given him the credit that at least it was beating a champ from another division.
Right.
This is, I think, which is hilarious that the guy from the division lower than him couldn't make weight at the weight higher. But whatever.
He's like, oh, just let me eat a couple hot dogs, man.
So let's hope this fight goes off. The press conference was absolutely worth it. It's on YouTube. Go and watch it if you want entertainment. I think the version that UFC has on YouTube, though, you have to start at 43 minutes because they started recording and posting it from the time that Conor was actually supposed to be there. And he was the challenger. So I believe that Khabib insisted that Conor come out first and that he get the champion walkout or some such nonsense. The things I find amazing are that Conor has signed an 8-fight contract with the UFC.
Oh, yeah, that'll happen.
But it doesn't exclude him from boxing. There's no stipulation for boxing. He may still box. But basically, you know, his MMA career will be retired with UFC. I don't see him ever doing 8 more fights. I don't think he needs to. I think he's got 4 more fights left total, and those will be over the course of probably the next 10 years.
And it's cool because he's got it in his back pocket, though. So, like, if, say, he was to lose a fight, needed to have a rematch to make himself feel better, it kind of builds that in there. So
he could always fight the myth that is Triple G as well. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's Triple G Canelo. What the fuck?
So what happened?
I said myth for a reason. All right, I said myth about that man for a reason.
About what? Triple G? You didn't think that Triple G should be the winner of that fight?
No.
I thought. Canelo won, but I thought that was.
I just don't think he's as great as everybody went on about when you've got like a Lomachenko out there.
Well, look, I don't think that he showed that he was great in this fight either. He was getting off to slow starts. He wasn't finishing when he should have. But I didn't feel like Canelo was getting the power shots or pressing the action, especially in the later rounds, that he could have either. And I think that there was clearly those rounds at the end that were Triple G's that the judges did not give him. But I don't know. I mean, I think you're going to see Canelo Triple G 3 now.
I think they've done that on purpose. It makes sense.
Well, that's why I said, you know, fuck the high heel guy, fuck De La Hoya. Man, people question boxing, and these are the moments in boxing where you just got to shake your head sometimes. Like, really? Can we get some kind of really decisive moment, or is everyone just on a money grab on bullshit?
I'm not being funny, but it depends on what you want to watch for boxing. This is the only problem now. So, like, when Canelo fought Mayweather, Canelo wins the fight on actual trying to box a match. Mayweather spends the entire time with his arm over his head hiding and counteracting, but like he basically turns his body so much that every time Canelo throws a punch, it's not allowed to be countered because it's hitting him in the back. Because Floyd Mayweather spent the entire time fighting with his back to him. Now, that isn't what I want to watch, personally, and I would.
That's why Floyd has so many critics, though, because Floyd.
This is what the boxing thing is, isn't it?
Floyd's done that through his whole career. That's not the sweet science. That's the winning a bunch of fights to get high enough ranked that you can get some money.
Maidana beat him in their first fight.
Mm-hmm.
Maidana absolutely just tore him to shreds. And if it wasn't for the referee in that match constantly getting involved and protecting Mayweather, but then Mayweather's fighting in his basically Las Vegas, which is he's making them so much money.
Did you not think that Canelo clearly or Triple G clearly won the first fight with him and Canelo?
To be honest, I didn't watch it.
Okay, so which is fine.
Yeah, I know it was screwy.
Okay, so I gotta tell you the other fucked up boxing thing this week. As much as I've been praising Eric Van Wagenen and the Contender and that whole program and everything Andre Ward has done and Sergio and all the guys over there, and I love Michael Moore as the best reality show villain in history. Oh my God, this week's episode of the Contender absolutely fucked up sideways, craziest shit I've seen in boxing in ages. and here I'm thinking like, oh my God, Edie Dub is the guy to save boxing, and this proves that boxing at certain levels cannot be saved. So it was Daniel Valdivia versus Marcos Hernandez, two guys, Central Valley guys. They had a little bit of heat with each other. They knew each other from before the show. They got a little bit of rivalry going. All sorts of great things in the episode led up to it that, you know, the same kind of stuff I was discussing before, like quality programming. You got some more of Michael Moore causing shit and stirring the pot. You got some great call outs, guys from the blue team the blue team's just been dissecting the gold team. Gold team hasn't won yet at all. Blue team's won every fight. You got them just fucking with the gold team, and then now challenging each other. You know, 2 of the fights that are booked for the next round, the guys have picked to fight each other instead of putting themselves in empty brackets and waiting to see if somebody from the gold team would step up.
Well, see, you got to remember the blue team has Wolverine, but the
Blue.
gold team has Claw. See, Jim would have laughed his ass off at
That's
that.
good.
God damn.
That's totally. I'm with you. That's a good one. Anyway, so we get to this match. It's a great match. It goes the distance. It's back and forth. You can't really tell. They're both having their moments. Daniel's getting some strong punches in with power shots, and Marcos has got some great evasion, but he's sticking the jab and he's moving. There's a little bit of cuts going on in one guy. All very exciting. Gets down to a decision where you're like, I think I know which way it's going to go, but I'm not really sure. And then it comes down. The way they're announcing it, you can tell, oh, shit, it's a split decision. And the split goes to one guy I'm not going to tell you because you should watch the episode.
Mhm.
And then they go through their normal package stuff. The loser leaves the ring. They're talking about how he's got to hang up his gloves. He's commiserating with the family. Everyone's saying how he could have won. Andre Ward is just kind of talking about like how he could have won the fight and how it's kind of, you know, it's a tough decision. But, you know, a lot of times that's why you don't leave a close decision to the judges and blah, blah, blah. Standard stuff. You can tell the arena's clearing out, you know, everyone's in the background shaking hands with Eric Grand Wagner and blah, blah, blah. Show's about to go off the air. And here's the benefit of not being on a broadcast network is the length of the show is not something you know is going to happen. And I think this episode actually ran long. All of a sudden, the California State Athletic Commission judge who was tallying the vote says, I think there was a miscalculation. He goes back, and apparently one of the scorecards he put in the wrong pile for a round.
Oh, wow.
Retabulate everything. And then
That's that apparently, though.
And then they just say, okay, the scores were read incorrectly. We have to legally, by California State Athletic Commission rules, we have to announce the results again with the correct numbers. It is
this is what they get for having Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway be judges for the fight.
I don't know who they got, but the judges turned in their scorecards the way they thought they were right. They just got read wrong. They got tabulated wrong because they just scratched their stuff for the round and turned it in. So it got read wrong. It got put in the wrong pile. You know, there's lots of flickering lights. It's a TV show set too, so it's hard to see in there. And it's done in pencil or whatever because that's boxing. You never do it in pen in boxing in case you need to make a change.
Yeah, when the money comes in.
Yeah.
Anyway, so. And I swear there's one shot where you can see Evie Deb's head in the background just sink behind like all these people who are standing at the judges' table where he's just like, oh, fuck me.
That Lucha Underground look. It's just following him.
Yeah, like it would be Casey just saying gross. That's all Casey would say for like 20 minutes. Gross. This is gross. I hate gross.
For one episode Casey turned up to.
Yeah. So like Josie and Evie Dub, they're all in the background because they're thinking like TV show. But there's boxing too, and there's official promoter for MGM there as well. So he's like, well, fuck, we got to do it. So in an empty arena, the studio audience is gone. They bring the fighters back out from the segments they're filming and getting the guys to cry in the background and the other guys to reward one dude. They bring them out from the back, put them back in the ring, read the results again, and you can tell both dudes are about to fucking puke. They're both sick over the whole thing. Like it was a close match. One guy already feels like complete shit. Now they're standing there and that guy feels like, oh fuck, they're going to turn this around and I'm going to win it. That's terrible. And then the other guy's like, fuck, I'm going to lose it. They already told me I won it. And sure enough, they reversed the fucking decision. It was still a split decision, but it was split the wrong way. And they called the other guy the fucking winner. And
this sounds like compelling fucking television.
It was, first of all, it was great television. It really was great television, but it was great television that exposed some of the fucked upness of boxing that not even the great and powerful Evie Dub himself can control.
But boxing is a farce and it's gone way out of hand. I will say that as a sport. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's a shame, though, because I feel like the Contender is not a farce, and there's so many good things happening. And then for this farcical situation to penetrate even in this one pure place where boxing feels pure right now.
And it's
that was the
concentrated
part that
even.
sucked.
Yeah, it's like the one. It's the one show that it feels like boxing is free of bullshit.
Right. And then all of a sudden
Everywhere
you've got
else-
this great drama, but it's still at the end of the day bullshit.
You've got 17 world champions in boxing. I mean, you probably got more. You've probably got some guy in like Micronesia who's world champion.
You've got
of the
17
IWWF,
world champions per weight class.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
And you've got
It's
a weight class every 2.5 pounds, you know?
It's just ridiculous. And it's just like the case of, and then it's like, oh, I don't want to fight you. So I'll just,
and you don't have to, because you can gain 3 pounds and go to a different weight class and get that belt instead, one of those 17 belts instead.
You don't even have to do that nowadays in boxing. You just go, no, I'm not going to fight you. Money's not good enough. That's it. You don't have to put a fight on. No commission goes, you know what, you're going to fight for that belt.
Well,
They rarely do that nowadays.
This is why people in the modern era still consider Tyson in the modern area, and he's not even modern anymore. They still consider him one of the greatest champions because there was no disputing.
Yeah,
he was the baddest man on the planet.
When that guy went for an uppercut, he reached down to the depths of hell and brought his fists right into your fucking jaw.
And you saw him on HBO decisively beat everyone who was a possible contender. They got all the real guys that were out there brutalizing other people, put them up against Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson smeared the canvas with all of them.
And when he lost, he lost. You know what I mean? When he lost, he lost. It wasn't. Yeah, but what I mean is he got beat. It wasn't some weird shitty. Yeah, but it wasn't some shitty weird decision or.
No, he legit lost.
Yeah, and nowadays it's just like, oh well, every boxing's gonna go to the 12th round.
But that was part of the other thing that made boxing feel legitimate there at that point in time too, because Mike Tyson, the biggest name in boxing, also lost in a match that no one fucking watched. That easily, if it was shady business, they could have fixed it somehow, and that's not the way it would have been fixed. You know. And he lost when nobody cared and nobody was watching and nobody was even betting. So little money exchanged. Do you know that was the first time I had not bet against Mike Tyson in 2 years at that point in time? I had bet against Mike Tyson trying to come up on the underdog money for years.
What was the odds on that? Imagine that. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And no one bet them because there was no chance in hell. There was nothing shady going on there. There was not some person who fixed that fight
sat there now
to win $1 billion on the Buster Douglas fight. Nobody bet it.
A millionaire.
And it took place overseas to boot. And nobody watched it.
Yeah.
It was like a warm-up fight for Mike.
Yeah, and it was outsold significantly by the wrestling shows in the Tokyo Dome. I've been reading a Tokyo Dome book, so it's kind of interesting, yeah.
It's just weird. I mean, it was basically an exhibition match, and somehow Mike fucked it up.
Yeah, and then you got James Buster Douglas boxing for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. That one's for you, Meef.
It's amazing. Yes. Anyway, I don't know. Boxing, I want to love it, but it's got issues. Marty's your champ, people. I think Marty is still in his show. I don't know if we're going to get him on before we get off because I got stuff to do. So maybe we'll try to get him on next week if we can.
All righty. Sounds good.
Yeah, still at the show. So maybe next week for Marty the Moth. We'll see. You know, we do shows on weekends when wrestlers wrestle. It's hard to get guests. Yeah. But they talk to us. They want to come on, but you know, it's Friday night or Saturday night. Sorry.
I might go to my hotel next week.
And I'm pretty sure he's in demand. Honestly, I'm happy he even answered my text message because the guy has been getting blown up since he won the belt because everyone is like, holy shit, you're somebody. I don't think they should be that surprised. What's that?
If he listens to this, he should contact me. He should take my Facebook message. I'm trying to get him booked in the UK. I finally got a promoter.
Oh.
So if there's any talent watching this,
okay,
and they want to get booked, hit me up. And I've got a guy now who's finally getting interested.
Good. So we found a better money mark than Byron, is what you're saying.
No. This guy's like actually it was a photographer for a bit, and now he's actually started to do his promotion. But I've got a few guys hooked up. A certain person who's very good friends of this show. I can't say anything. Hopefully he will be over here next year.
Yes, Sid. Yeah. Awesome.
Sid Yudi is not doing it. Yudi said he's out.
God damn it.
So the company is called WrestleGate, and they are launching next year.
WrestleGate, like it's a scandal?
Yeah, like Comicsgate and Gamergate. And
I hope they're very brave individuals, or maybe not.
I hope not.
Yeah,
I
they're
hope
very brave.
I hope that you are planting the seeds for the Wang takeover, me.
Yeah, tell them to let us book a mini Wang card on their underneath.
Yeah, dude, we'll let you wrestle. Dude, me, if you can wrestle in any monster mask you want,
and we'll call that event a Little Wang.
Little Wang. But
Little Wang.
They're basically Mexican guys over to face like Japanese guys and mix it with the UK as well.
That's kind of cool.
So we could get something interesting from certain people.
I feel you. I feel what you're feeling. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have. Anybody else got anything else they want to throw in?
I want everyone to look up the DDT wrestler Monster Halloween because he looks like he's the prospect we should all be watching.
Whoa. There's something we have to address here. There's this guy. I don't know exactly who he is. It's URBANHERETIC 187.
I don't know how to read that.
So he says
something
about the fact that me and Meef have identical facial hair. We must be long lost brothers confirmed. Man,
actually, Meef,
I am doing so much better than Meatloaf in the facial hair department just because my shit is trimmed.
I'll explain it, but we might get an explicit tag. You see, some of them had Meef had a little stickiness around his mouth, and then they kissed, and then Justin's facial hair rubbed off on Meef, and that's what he's got right now.
Nope.
It's hilarious. It grows long, but in patches. It's so bad. It's
terrible.
And
it matches Meef's Fire Pro character perfectly.
But are you seeing this shit? Like, I'm finally connected. I mean, it's a real thin connection, but I'm connected.
Yeah, mine never.
Meef just hit puberty.
Yeah.
God damn.
I basically
won the other day.
Oh,
Amazing.
Nice. It's flattering, Meef. It's flat. See, yeah. I grow facial hair like Jack Evans, which is to say I shouldn't grow facial hair, but I still do.
I'm saddened and offended, Urban. Until next time, stay calm and stay in the mix.